Hello, everyone. Oh my God, I missed you so much. I'm so delighted to be here with all of you. I'm going to take a drink of water before we start. Hello, hello. How are you all doing? Oh my God. I'm so delighted to be here with you today. I can't wait to give you the downloads on how to unlock your ability to be consistently ahead with your income goals. And let me tell you something. This is something that I've been coaching my clients on. This is something that is so essential. I help coaches clarify their message so they can attract premium clients. If you don't know me, my name is Juliana Garcia, and that's what I help you do. And one of the things that is so important for us as we say, I want to attract more clients, is to understand what it takes to be able to sustain your success. Sustain it, it's like if you attract money, being able to not only attract the money, but also being able to be a good keeper of money and then a good circulator of money, right? Same thing with clients. You want to make sure that you understand how to repeat your goals, how to be consistent in your results so that it doesn't feel like things are a fluke, right? So, hello, Ivy. Hi, Lindsay. How are you? I know you know me. I love seeing you here. And so that where I want to start, we're going to be talking about this. And this is something literally straight out of my coaching calls with my clients. And so you guys are going to love it. This is like literally coaching juice that I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this. But before we start, I want to know, this group has grown so much. I want to know, where are you tuning in from? Hey, Kim, how are you? Lindsay, where are you tuning in from? Ivy, where are you tuning in from? Where are you all at in the world? I feel like people have moved so much this year. They're relocating. I'm like, where are my people? So if you don't know, I'm in San Diego. If you live in San Diego, if you live in California, be on the outlook because I'm going to be throwing an event very soon where we're going to get to meet in person. I'm inviting my clients. Oh my God, it's going to be so fun. So, and even if you don't live in California, fly in for it. It's going to be so freaking fun. Ivy says Philippines. Selma says she's in London and it's 1 a.m. Selma, this is the best thing you can be doing at 1 a.m. You're going to feel so ready for bed. So ready for bed because it's going to feel so delicious. Maybe you'll feel a little activated and excited. But that's always a good thing. Okay, so here's what I want to tell you. There's a real pandemic going around in the world. And the pandemic is not really the one, hey Sam, is not really the one that most people talk about, right? It's not the one that we have been in for the last 2 years. It's not really that. The pandemic that we're experiencing is got to do as coaches, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, and I'm speaking specifically to coaches, is this idea, right, that we're behind. Give me a 1 in the comments if you have had the thought, oh my God, I'm fucking behind again. I'm still behind. I see people going past me. Oh my God, like that colleague of mine or that peer of mine, she wasn't making money last year, but now she's making all this money. Or, oh my God, I see these people on Instagram and oh my God, like they really are doing great. Like, where is my win, right? Where is my win? Sam says 1. Yeah, thank you for being honest. Listen, back in 2017, I experienced this as like the most predominant thought in my life. I just felt like I was always behind. Like I saw my friends having like $1 million events. Like they would throw an event and make $1 million. I think it was $700,000. No, it was $1 million. And they were just like, they had started like after me. They weren't really that experienced, but all of a sudden they had all these wins. And I was like, what am I doing that I'm not making that amount of money, that like I'm not hitting my goals consistently? Oh my God. And the thing that just kept being in my space was I'm falling behind. Look at all these ones. Thank you for being honest. Lindsay, Jackie, Kim, Selma. Yes. So that really, when you think about it, is if you look around, and you ask, and as I coach clients, as I'm in the conversation, right, in the coaching space, there is this really deep rooted belief that we start feeling consistently, and is, I'm behind in my income. I don't have the amount of clients I want. I don't have the followers I want. I'm not getting the engagement I want. Clients that I have are not staying on as many times as I would like them to be. So I feel behind. If you enter a program, like people who join my mastermind, some are feeling like they're behind in the modules. There's this real belief that we're always behind. And we're talking today about how to always be ahead on your income goals. And I want you all to think about, if you're consistently being in the energy, and what I mean by being in the energy is consistently thinking and feeling like you are behind, guess what result you are going to create? You're going to create the result of being behind. When you think I'm behind, you feel frustrated, or you might feel the way that I was feeling is like literally behind. I was like, I'm going to decide that feeling behind is a feeling because I couldn't find a feeling to describe it. You know, the feeling in your body when you feel behind, right? It's like a feeling. I decided that behind is a feeling. And the actions that you take, it's like you feel paralyzed. It's like no matter what you do, it does not feel good. It doesn't feel sufficient. And the result of that is that you literally end up proving your thought that you're behind. And I did this for a whole year. I can tell you it doesn't work. And I want to tell you what I did, because today we're talking about how to always be ahead in your income goals. And I'm speaking from the future that I imagined at the time, which was, oh my God, I'm hitting my income goals. Like I don't even look at my Stripe account anymore. But when I do, I'm like, oh, we made that much? Oh, wow. Okay, great. Like, I'm not concerned anymore with, did we hit our goal right now? Did we hit our goal this month? Did I hit my goal, like my weekly, my monthly? Like, I'm just not concerned with that anymore. I'm no longer concerned with what other people are doing, how much money they're making. I'm really not concerned. Like, I'm not concerned. And I never thought this was possible. So I want to give you guys the wisdom so that because it is truly possible. It's not that I don't have the thought. It's just that I don't stay there for very long. I'm like, I just know it's a false construct. So let me tell you why. The first thing I realized, and the first thing that I want to tell you of how you can always consistently hit your goal, and be even ahead of your goal, is by noticing where you're always holding on, where you're fighting for the belief that you are behind, and how that's actually creating your result. And instead, start thinking about the natural evolution of the world. Like, we're always moving forward. There's no way you're going behind, you're falling behind, or that you're going backwards, or that you're not moving fast enough, because you're always moving forward. You're always moving forward. You're moving forward right now by listening to this video. You are evolving the way you're thinking just by being tuned into this live stream. By the end of this live stream, you are going to have moved forward in the way that you think. There is no way that you're ever falling behind, because we're always moving forward. The universe is always ever evolving. We're always our evolution is unstoppable, is infinite. This is not me making it up. We're all your life is gonna end and die, but the world's gonna continue. Existence is gonna continue. Infinity is gonna continue. We are always evolving. Your soul is gonna continue. Your soul will go to some other incarnation. We're always ever evolving. So falling behind is actually impossible. Just really let that sink in. You being behind is impossible. It's really impossible. You're fighting for a reality that's not even true. You are not behind. You're always moving in the right direction, even if it doesn't feel like it. But you're always moving forward. Who you were yesterday is very different from who you are today. You had some breakthroughs yesterday. I guarantee that you were like, oh, I had this realization, didn't you? I know you know it, even if it was small. You were always moving forward every moment. So when you think about it, when you think about your income that way, when you stop thinking, let me just rephrase this. The first thing we need to do in order to always hit our income goals consistently is to want to give up the belief that you're falling behind, or that we're falling behind. is the first step. And I said to my clients last week, and I repeated it again, and I said, everybody raise their right hand and say, I'm committed to never again believing that I'm falling behind. I'm always moving forward. Period. Because that is literally the evolution of the world. You cannot be going behind. Now, the reason why you think you're falling behind is because you are looking at other people moving at their own pace because they don't have this belief that they're falling behind. They're just going for it. And then you compare, their path and your path. And you could compare yourself to so many other people that are maybe making 200K months, 100K month, 30K months, 10K month, whatever that is. You can always find somebody that is quote unquote ahead. But is it true? They're just doing, they're in the same moment in time that you are. They're just moving forward in their own way. When you start entering the conversation of who's going faster between you and them, that's when you start putting yourself behind, and that's what has your income be inconsistent, because the way you see yourself in your pace is not consistent. You're up and down in your mind about it. You're thinking, I'm behind. Okay, I'm good today, but I'm not good tomorrow. Oh, I'm behind again. Look at her. Every time that you invite the idea that somebody's further ahead from you, you are giving yourself a pay cut. And you're telling yourself, I'm not going to hit my goals this month. That's what you really are saying, because you're inviting the energy of I'm falling behind, which creates a result of you are behind. So please hear me when I say, you are not falling behind. And this is the first way in which you are giving yourself a pay cut, in which you are calling in not hitting your goals consistently. If you eliminate that from your life, really, as of today, after you watch the live stream, if you promise to yourself and you say to yourself, oh my God, I am so sorry for being so mean to you, telling you that you were falling behind. Because I guarantee you heard that when you were little. At some point, you're not going fast enough. You're not being a good student. You're not getting A pluses. You could be doing better. I'm not sure about you. You got to be successful. You got to make that money, or you got to be the best, right? And so you literally are bringing all of that into your business by telling yourself those same voices that you had when you were little, and you're repeating that to yourself. So if you get back into your body and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for being so mean to you. You're doing so great. This is step 2 of making sure that you're always consistently hitting your goals. Appreciation, because what you appreciate, guess what? Does anyone know what happens when what you appreciate? Because somebody tell me in the comments. I think it's a little delayed, so I'm just going to tell you. What you appreciate appreciates. So I'm going to get a little tactical and more strategic here, okay? Those $5,000 you made this month, maybe those $50,000 you made this month, whatever that is for you. You say that you want to hit your income goals consistently, right? And you want to always not just hit them, but not be ahead and not be falling behind, right? The second step that you want to take is making sure that every fucking day, like it's time to drink water in the morning, whatever it is that you do in the morning. That's for me it. Like I just wake up and I have a drink of water. It's just a natural thing that I always do. The same way that I drink water every morning is the same way that I'm feeling appreciation for exactly however much I made that month so far, or how much I've made. I don't even look at my income. I don't obsess over it. When I was obsessed over it and checking and refreshing and being like, oh my God, am I going to hit it? Am I going to hit it? Am I going to hit it? The more I was in the energy of like, what if I don't hit it? Oh my God. And the more that I would call in the situation where I wouldn't hit it, because I was in the energy of what if I don't have it? What if I don't get it? Now I'm like, I'm gonna make my income, like my yearly goal, it's done. Whether I have a low month or a high month, whether I have a regular month or not, it's a done deal. And so I appreciate every day, every month, whatever comes in. I'm like in deep appreciation. And I don't mean gratitude. I mean appreciation is very different. Feeling grateful for something is like surface level. It's like level 1. But when you go deeper into appreciation, this is what I want you all to do energetically. Appreciate the clients that you have that are signed on right now. the clients, the money that is coming in that you made last month, the previous month, and the month before that. The first, like the second layer to this is the appreciation of all that you do have, because that's the baseline for you to energetically be consistent with your income goals. Is saying, universe, I have enough. I have more than enough. When you are in enoughness, then you're available for overflow. And that's how you not only meet your goals, but you become ahead of your goals. So I'll tell you, for example, last year my goal was to make $600,000 in the beginning of the year. I'm like, just what I'm gonna do. And I ended the year at 1.5 million. And you know the secret for me? So I way more than exceeded my goal. I went way ahead of my goal. But you know what I did differently? Because years before that, I was always in the chase and in the hustle and like, it's not good enough. I don't think so. I'm behind. I just gave up that idea and I started appreciating every single one of the clients that was signing up with me. So if I had a launch and I had one client sign up, I would literally feel like I had 20. I would call in the feeling of, oh my God, one person just signed up with me. Yes. And I would hold that feeling in my body as if it was everything. Like as if I had the 20, 30 or 40 or 50 that I was calling in for that launch. And for every person, I started appreciating that so much more. And I continued to just be in the level of appreciation that like literally made it so much easier for me to be an energetic match for overflow, which is what we're talking about. It's not just how to meet your goals, but it's how to be ahead of your goals, right? Like it's a different conversation. It's like the next level, right? But the baseline and what I want all of you to hear, and I'm going to talk about like practical stuff that I like, things that I want you to know that are happening in your biology as you go for more and as you want to be ahead so that you know how to unlock that in your biology. But what I want to say, where was I? Unlocking your goals consistently, appreciation of your goals. I was going to say something about appreciation of your goal. Oh yeah, appreciating every single one of the clients and everyone that came in so that I would become a match for them. Then this year came and you know what happened at the beginning of the year? I was so heartbroken that I had to pretty much call off my launch. Like I had to call it off because I couldn't get myself to do live streams and to do my launch. And I had to like be like, okay, that's it. And you know how I got ahead of my goal? Like I literally challenged all the strategies, all the tactics. All I did was I sat with the 16 people that had already joined. My goal was 30 and I didn't do a launch, right? Like I didn't do a live stream series, nothing. And because I really just needed to heal myself. So first I put myself first instead of money first. And then I sat with my thoughts around the 16 people that I had signed up. I just wasn't feeling good about it. I was like, it's not enough. My goal should be 30. Like I'm available for 30. That's what I wanted. And I don't think that 16 is enough. And I was in so much drama thinking 16 is not good enough. 16 is not good enough. 16 is not good enough. And I was like, oh, right. For me to be in overflow, what I did last year was not feeling this. For me, it was appreciation of what I do have. And so I went there and I said, Juliana, you don't have to prove anything that you have to get 30 people. Why do you have to prove that you have to get 30 people? Like if you close doors today, wouldn't it feel amazing? These 16 amazing souls came into your world. And I just started to find the appreciation in the 16 people. And once I started doing it, and I'm like, okay, and I'm available for 30. And all I did, you guys, I just sent emails. I didn't do my big launch or anything. I just sent the emails. Guess what happened? I signed more than 30 people, 32 people. I signed them to, well, they enrolled in Magnetize and Monetize. We were ahead of the goal. So that's why I want you all to know that when you are available, when you are in appreciation of your baseline of what you have, even if it's one client, even if it's 0 clients, where can you find the appreciation for what you do have? Because if you're consistently reiterating the story of you're behind and you're not where you need to be, you are literally giving yourself an energetic pay cut. It's costing you money to have that thought. So first, forgive yourself for having the thought. Be so gentle with yourself, letting it go. Like, I understand that this is where we were before. This is what we learned in the past, but we don't need it. You don't have to prove anything to me. You don't have to meet your income goal for me to love you. Like, this is how I talk to myself. You don't have to prove anything to anyone to be an amazing coach, to prove that you're killing it. If you make no money next month, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to appreciate you. You're amazing. Are you kidding? I'm not going to put your value on the line because a client signs with you or not. I love you. And from that place of sufficiency, from that place we get to go and then be a match for people who would appreciate us. The more that you appreciate you, the more people appreciate you, right? And that becomes the energetic unlock. That's the process for you to be able to always be ahead, because you're already ahead internally. You're already, oh, I'm good. And that's when you literally you're saying to the universe, I have what I need. So then the universe gives you exactly what you need versus, oh, I'm falling behind. I don't have enough. That's exactly the same message that you are sending, that you're saying what you're available for, not enough, right? So it's so important that you understand that. The last thing that I want to tell you, very important. This is for those of you who are hitting your goals already. Like, let's just say you're making 5K months, 12K months, whatever, 100K months, whatever. If you are making 150K, whatever, right? But you want to go for more, okay? Or this is if you already hit your goals and now you're like, oh my God, how do I get to overflow? Very simple. I want you to understand something that is really important. The chase, the pursuit, like that energy of pursuing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. If we don't learn how to harness it in a really healthy way, it's literally going to work against you for where you're going. So what do I mean by that? When we are in the pursuit of a next goal, if we don't recognize the fuel that we're coming from, if you're doing it because you want to prove something, because you want to be cool, because you want people to interview you, because you want to say to people that you hit the next goal, if that's the fuel that's fueling your decision to get to more, what that is doing is you're seeking dopamine. You're seeking the dopamine that you're gonna get when you get to that goal, okay? And what happens is you're not experiencing any dopamine in order to get there. You're delaying your pleasure, you're delaying your excitement, you're delaying the moment of celebration to the moment of when you get the goal, right? So you might get there coming from a place of proving. Then the energy of proving works, right? It drives people. It's just not sustainable and it doesn't feel good. Trust me, I've done it. So instead, what is so important, okay, so let me finish that. If you get to the goal, you get the dopamine hit, but what happens when you hit the goal, and some of you might have experienced this, it feels a little empty. It feels like you're like, oh, why doesn't this feel like amazing? I just made, like I had a $250,000 launch. Why doesn't this feel amazing? Like my clients have this literal result. I just signed a $179,000 client or a $120,000 client. Why doesn't this feel like the most amazing thing? Give me a 2 in the comments if you've ever felt that way. Like you felt this like, oh, I guess I got it. But like, it just doesn't feel like this expansion. It feels like you can't really feel the joy, right? The reason for that is because when you hit that dopamine, literally your brain crashes because it's such a big dopamine hit. It's like a drug. It's like you give your brain so much, because it gets this win. So you feel this like dopamine hit and it quickly, right away, it just dies and you crash. And it kind of stays on for a few days, more, sometimes a week. Sometimes people go into like whole existential crisis over it because they're like, oh my God, this is not what I thought it would be. Let me go find myself. And then it's like this whole thing, unnecessary cycle of self-questioning yourself because you didn't feel like this goal fulfilled you. When in reality what's actually happening is that the chemistry in your body had you crash down so much that you thought something was going to make you happy and delighted, but in reality it was just a crash in your dopamine. How do you prevent that? This is my favorite thing ever. Are you ready? Because this is what I do, and this is what I've been able to I really feel like mastered this past year. Instead of working, like, instead of celebrating on the day when it happens, like so much, or like saving all your energy to celebrate that day, right? Or in that moment for the dopamine to hit you, the secret to be able to be in overflow and be an energetic match for not being in pursuit of new goals and new things, because, you know, once you, here's what happens, you crash, right? And then you're like, well, maybe that didn't make me feel good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go for more. That's the problem, right? So you pursued, you have a dopamine crash, and then you're like, well, that didn't make me feel good. So let me go for a bigger goal. Let me just go for more, right? And so then you set a new goal and you're like, okay, let's go chase it. Oh, I get that, but it's not quite right. So maybe if I do more, maybe I'll feel better. And then there's this constant pursuit. It's just the chemistry in your body. You're playing into the chemistry of your body, of this crash. And you think, oh, well, maybe I should want more, right? Maybe I shouldn't want anything. Maybe I should stop doing everything altogether, right? Like, it's all this chemistry that's like literally you're playing into it. It's very simple. This requires practice. But here's what I have done. I bring, instead of letting the process be exhausting, horrible, and annoying, and being like, but I'm gonna celebrate, but until I hit the goal, it's gonna be so good. What I do, and this is the key, you bring the dopamine every day with you, so that you don't have a crash. You're always with dopamine releases every day. And what that looks like is finding the joy in the things that you're doing every single day as you work towards your goal. And let me tell you what that looks like. So for example, one client signs, joy. One client doesn't sign, joy for me showing up that day. Joy for the fact that I know clients are coming. My team makes a mistake, angry, pissed, whatever. Joy because I have a team. I find the joy as much as I possibly can every single day, so that I have consistent dopamine releases. And then when I hit the goal, I'm not crashing. I'm like, okay, great. What do I want to do from now? Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of like, okay, what's next? But I want to go to what's next from a grounded place that's not going to burn me out. Because this up and down of like, this is not enough, so let me get more. This is not enough, so let me get more. That is what crashes people. And I'm not available for crashing. So you bring the joy every single day. You bring the dopamine every single day. You find the pleasure in your marketing. You feel the pain, the discomfort, the frustration. I'm done with this. Let it be. And then also you go and you're like, and I'm so proud of you for how you showed up today. Or how can I feel like it today? Like, I'm doing a live stream today. I don't feel like it, but how can I find the joy in it? Right? And then you bring the joy, the pleasure, the excitement, the celebration in micro moments during the day, so that the whole process of you getting to the goal is filled with dopamine, and then you don't crash when you get there. You're like, okay, great. I'm here. Now what do I want to do for fun? Do I want to make more money? Do I want to raise my goal? Do I want to stay here? You're not making decisions from a deficit of dopamine. You're making a decision from a fully centered place of, do I actually want more? I don't have to chase anything. You're not trying to get the next fix. You do it from a fully sufficient place. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? Give me a 3 in the comments if this is landing with you, because this is some not late, but like new realizations and new concepts that I'm teaching my clients and that I'm bringing to all of your awareness, that I've had to go through myself in being recovering perfectionist, being an ambitious woman, a woman that is like wants more, and really being able to understand, well, I'm so driven and I'm so motivated, right? And like I have this like really masculine side of me that wants to go for it. And then I also have this side, this feminine, that wants to like be balanced, right? I love it. See all of you, Rebecca, Sam, Jackie. I have these 2 sides of me. And I don't see many examples in the coaching space where people are fully balanced in their masculine and their feminine, going for their ambition and going for what they want, right? And crushing it and like getting to it. And also being so gentle with themselves. Most people are like one or the other. It's like you have the feminine approach or you have the masculine approach. So it's like, it's hard for us to understand, well, what's the middle? How do I get to overflowing? How do I get to my ambition, to what I really want, while being so gentle, loving? Like, what is the secret? What is the key? The masculine energy doesn't work for women only because, or for men only. We need to be gentle with ourselves as we want more, right? And so this is why it's more like next level for those of you who are really going for overflow, really going for more. That it's not necessarily like common, like maybe you know it logically, but like applying it. So I'm gonna tell you the last few things for you to apply it. First of all, make me a promise. Make yourself a promise. Let's say that, because it's not really for me. Make yourself a promise that you're completely unavailable to feel behind ever again. I know, Selma, right? This is so good. Like, make yourself a promise that you are unavailable to feel behind ever again. Listen, if it worked, I'll tell you do it. But I've done it. I've done it, and I've made way less money than when I feel like, you want to know how I feel about my process, like being in the process of like getting to my goals and expanding my goals and making multi-million dollars and now going for $30 million. Like, the energy that drives me is, I get to do this. I choose this as my path. It feels fun for me to do this. And what drives me is the woman that I will become on the way there. It's not really for me to make $30 million. Do I need $30 million? I could make $2.5 million every year and be great. Like, I literally am having this conversation with myself. I'm like, because my goal was like, I'm going to double to 5 million, to 10, Okay, great. Why do I want to double, triple, and get to millions, multi-millions? Do I really need it? So that was first thing. What's driving me to always meet my income goals, to get more, to grow? Comparison. Because I want to be like, I want to be one of coaches that is like mentioned and all this shit. And it was ego. Ego wanted that. And I was like, okay, so that's my ego saying that she wants that. All right, got it. Is that the fuel that I want to feel on my way to 30 million? That was a fuck no. That feels heavy and exhausting, right? I love it, Selma. Thank you for promising that to yourself. Thank you, Jackie. Tiffany, Ivy. Oh, look at that. So good. I said, that's not the fuel I want. I don't need to make $30 million. I don't really need, really? Like, listen, I could do my business can do whatever it wants or like happen, and I'm going to have my back no matter what. So first level, I don't need to prove anything to anyone or to myself. And if something happens like that has me go up and down income at whatever level, I'm going to be there for me. I'm going to have my back. I'm going to be the first person to be in my corner, because I'm always in my corner. And then the conversation is, okay, cool. Then what drives me? And my driver is, when I think about that vision, I'm like, oh my God, the woman that I would be, that I would have to become, that I would get to become on the process to creating that result, the way that I would need to expand my mind, where I would need to take my brain, my emotions to meet myself. Like, whoa, that excites me. So I come from a place of like, that's going to be expansive, fun, and like, I'm curious. Like, I feel like I'm flirting with the idea. I'm like, oh, that'd be fun. Like, the Juliana that would get to shop for that would be so delicious. Like, oh, like that turns me on. It turns me on, the vision of that woman, because of the internal transformation that I would have to go through. Like, as a leader, I would have to have a team and like manage teams. And do I have to have a CEO? Like, so many questions that I'm like, oh, I would expand as a leader. That'd be so powerful, it's so potent, so juicy. That turns me on, right? But I had to clean up the reasons why, and also give myself so much spaciousness in such a long timeline for me to not feel in a rush. Like, I'm not trying to do this in 2 or 5 years. I could really push myself and push and be like, I want to do it in a short amount of time, and I want to do 30 million in 5 years. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go and rush myself. And what the fuck, hell no, I'm not available for that kind of life. No, I want to go in an expansive place. So the same thought that I had to get to 1 million, I'm going to have to go to 30 million. And it was I'm willing for this to take 10, 15 years. I literally had that thought in 2017 to close the loop on the story when my friends were making all this money and I was comparing myself. There was one day when I was like, Juliana, are you willing for this to take 10 years for you to make $1 million? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm available for that. I'm totally available for that. I'm okay for it to take a long time, quote unquote. Am I willing to like be at 40 and have my first million? Fuck yes, I think it's the coolest shit. Like be able to like share with my family and just, I thought that would be so expansive, just who I would become on the process to get to $1 million. Am I willing for that to take 10 years? Yes. So I am not rushing to, and look, it happened the year after, or like 2 years later. So am I willing? And I want you to ask yourself that. Second promise. I promise that I'm not going to rush my process and I'm actually going to find pleasure in it every day. And I'm going to love myself and I'm going to have my back and I'm not going to negotiate on my ambition and I'm going to fucking go for what I want big. I'm not going to negotiate on my desires. What I want is what I get to have. And as much as I want and I'm going for it, as equally as much, I get to be gentle, loving with myself. That is how I'm able to be in the overflow of my income because I'm unattached. I'm loving myself no matter what. I'm appreciating what I do. I'm in appreciation at all times of everything that happens. So I want to leave you all with that. And really let this sink into your bones. Where are you rushing that inner little girl of yours, or little boy? Where are you making them feel not good enough, not fast enough, like they're falling behind? Why? This is going to make the process feel horrible. I want the process to feel kind of fun and delicious. Maybe not all the time, but I'm going to choose to find the pleasure in the pain. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like you're in the bedroom and you like a little hard. But it feels good, right? Because you find the pleasure in the pain. You can do the same thing in your business. You can find pleasure in the thing that feels uncomfortable. And you can bring all parts of you to the table to be like, how do we want to do this? How do we want to move forward here from a loving, kind place? Okay? I'm going to read the comments. Rebecca, F no, right? Rebecca says, love this perspective, Juliana. Thank you. Oh my God, yes, I so promise that I'm no longer going to rush myself. Yes. Let it breathe. Let the process just be what it is. And the more you relax, this is counterintuitive, but the more you're, and not relax, and when I say relax, I don't mean do nothing, right? I'm not saying that. I'm a fucking, like, I'm going for it. Like, you know what I mean? But I relax. When I say I go for it, I'm like, I hold the intention. I don't negotiate. I'm like, that's it. We're doing this from a clean energy, right? And I'm available for it to take whatever long it's going to take. I want to have fun with this. And can we do it in a year? How much fun do we need to have in order to do it in a year, right? That's how I decide for my goals. Like I have big goals, but I'm also willing for it to take however long it needs to take. And so don't rush yourself. Give yourself so much space and so much grace. And that is when you unlock the flow of clients and the overflow of always hitting your goals consistently when you operate from this energy. Okay? Okay. I love you all so much. By the way, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be doing trainings literally like this every week. And I'm going to do an invitation where you're going to get an invite on Facebook. Make sure you say attend so that you get notified so that you don't miss it. We're also going to send the replay via email every week. I want to make sure you have this because I'm having so many realizations, just so much that is going on in my life, with my clients, expansion, vision, just so much just thought leadership that is coming through that I really don't want you to miss it. These trainings truly are like life-changing if you really take it on. So be on the lookout for those little Facebook notifications so that you don't miss these trainings live. There's something that happens when you're in the frequency of the energy just live and you just receive it in a different way. Rebecca says, operate from surrender versus striving. Yes, commitment, right? Surrender. When I say so, I always have a funny, I've had an interesting relationship with the word surrender because I always felt like surrender was like do nothing. And the way it clicked for me was when I combined it with commitment. Like, I'm so committed, so fucking committed for this goal or to this goal or to this whatever it is. And I'm willing to do all, like, my part, take the actions that I want to take, not exhausting myself, but I'm willing to take the actions that I know that I can, and the thoughts and the feelings that are going to create those actions, and being energetically available for what I want. And I'm going to surrender to whatever ends up being the result. So I think for me, combining it with commitment, right, really helped me understand surrender in a deeper way. All right, so thank you, Rebecca, for offering that. Selma says 10. I don't know what you mean by that, but great. If you're rating this live stream, I'm gonna take it. All right, my loves. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned because next week I have more trainings coming for you. Have an amazing night, and I'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye.